Now, with Pioneer, did they have a fleet of buses?
Yes.
How many different types of buses did they have in the fleet?
They had two different types. They had a Star Bus, and then they had a, they build buses. So whatever the client wants, they build it for their client's needs.
Can you describe for the jury the design of the buses that you would drive for Pioneer?
Mine was a Star Bus, which had 6 bunks in it, a king-size bed in the back. Usually have a shower, and just a nice area, kitchenette, and full refrigerator. And
on some of the tours that you did, would the artists have additional items that they would carry?
Yes, I had one of the clients had, I was pulling a car behind, and one of the clients I've had a trailer with all their little toys, and one client had a washer and dryer. She didn't like the sheets.
Oral, sir.
She didn't like she didn't like the sheets in the hotel room, so she'd wash them before we go up in the room. I mean, excuse me, they would, not me.
So when you had those specialized items, how would those items be carried?
In the trailer behind the bus.
And when artists, and I'm going to speak specifically about Pioneer, would the artist select the type of bus they want, select the type of bus that they wanted?
Yes.
Okay. Now, looking at first Exhibit 34E, can you briefly just describe for the jury, overall, we're just going to focus on the first bus that's in this route of buses. Ideally, the outside, then we'll go on to the inside of how the tour buses generally look when leaving Pioneer coaching.
This depicts just how they look. They're all cleaned up and ready to roll.
When you talked about the trailer, is that the item that's on the back of the first bus?
Yes, it is.
All right. Now looking at Stacey's Exhibit 35E.
Oh.
If you could just orient the jury, and there's a screen to the left of you and a screen to behind you. Orient the jury to where you would sit generally inside of this bus, and then describing what we see in 35E. Looking at Stacey's Exhibit 35E, just using the arrow or using the marker, if you can point in direction to where you would sit inside of that bus.
I would sit in this area right behind that little wall there.
Okay. And does your seat sit lower than that area that you just pointed to?
A little bit, yes, I believe so.
Okay. And this middle area that we're looking at, what is this area? Do you have a name for this area? Or
it's a dining area. This here is the table for dinner and what have you to eat off of, and just sitting here, and the TV's here. It's laid out for as comfortable as you can get rolling down the road.
And I see next to the driver's seat or the driver's area, there's a passenger seat. Would any of the celebrities sit up there with you, or any of the other passengers on the bus sit up there with you on your tours?
Occasionally they would, but there is a jump seat. Yes.
When you say there's a jump seat, what do you mean?
Oh, it's a jump seat where somebody else can sit up there and observe, whatever they choose to.
Okay. Using your stick, just tell the jurors right now, what area are we looking at and where is it going into? You describe.
This is the other side of the.
And can y'all hear him? I guess they can.
This is the other side of the bus from the dining area. This is a kitchenette here. This is the full refrigerator here. Bathroom on this side. The 2 bunks or the 6 bunks on this side here. As you get to the back, it's usually a master bedroom back here, or whomever. Okay.
I'm sorry.
For whoever is, the entertainer, the artist, whoever is on the bus.
And when you said there's 6, is there 3 on the left side and 3 bunks on the right side?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Right in this area here. There are 1, 2, and 3, and the same thing on the other side.
On the left-hand side, and then going straight back is a full bedroom.
Yes.
All right, you can take a seat. And then last would be 37E. Is this just another same angle of that interior area that we were just discussing?
Yes, it is.
Now, when you worked for Pioneer Coaching, were you employed directly by Pioneer or were you an independent contractor?
We were listed as an independent contractor. We were getting paid by the individual artists. So, yes.
Now, tell the jury how that worked. Would the artist contact you as a driver, or will they contact Pioneer, or was there a combination of both?
It was a combination of both. Sometimes it would be my artist that I'm dealing with, and I would bring it to the table and say, hey, we got a deal. And sometimes it was just come into the office.
Okay. And in working for Pioneer, were you assigned to specific tours? Is that a no?
Yeah, I was. Mostly, some of the other guys didn't want to do some of the other tours, so I ended up doing most of the raps and the R&Bs and, a lot of the other different tours, so.
Now, did you have any input on what tours you worked?
If I brought the tour to the table, yes. If it was just a tour to go on, no.
And explain to me what you mean. If you brought the tour to the table.
Well, if it was an artist that I've dealt with before and they contacted me and said they want, some buses, and I would contact Pioneer and ask if they had the buses, and we'd put the deal together. If it was something that just came out of the office, then it was just, another day at the office working. You just handle the tour.
Okay. So if it was a case that came out of the office, would Pioneer contact you and say, hey, we had this tour, we're assigning you to this specific tour?
Yes.
Now, would the artist reach out to you directly, or would their management or someone else on behalf of the artist reach out to you?
It was a combination. I had some artists that I would talk to directly that I've worked with over a period of time. And then a lot of times it was just management or production.
And when you say or production, what do you mean?
Well, a production company that's doing a tour would call and say, hey, we got this tour and, can you get buses from Pioneer? And I would say, check it out. And yeah, so we just make the deals happen.
While on tour, were there any requirements that as the bus driver you had to adhere to? Like, did you have to drive certain hours, or
we had a 10-hour limit, and the bus would usually shut down. They're designed now that they will shut down within 10 hours.
And did you have a certain amount of sleep you would have to get as a driver? How much hours of sleep did you have to get?
8 hours off or 10 hours off. 10 hours. You have to have at least 10 hours sleep time before you make another trip.
And when you had to get your rest or sleep, would you sleep on the bus or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
And where would you sleep?
At a hotel.
Why didn't you sleep on the bus?
Why did I?
Did not.
Because there's a lot of activity going on in the buses, and we need to get undisturbed time to ourselves to get our rest.
Now, once you were assigned a tour, tell the jurors about how you would get the tour bus to the artist. Would the artist come to Tennessee, or would you have to get the bus and take it to the artist?
We'd pick it up from Tennessee. It only depends on where the bus is. We would go fly in and get the bus and go meet up with the artist wherever they are.
And once the tour was completed, would you return the bus back to Madison, back to Pioneer?
Yes.
Now, when you generally did tours, was it your responsibility to take the celebrity to the event that they were at, say the concert, or were you supposed to take them to the hotel or something else?
We usually either go venue to venue or hotel to hotel. This buses are usually big. Sometimes we have trailers, so we don't use the buses as a taxi cab to run around. We go from hotel to hotel or venue to venue.
Now, when you drove on the tours that you've driven on, was there always just a single bus Did you have multiple buses, or did it depend on the artist and the tour?
Depends on the artist and the tour. I've did tours, we've had 25 or 30 buses on it. Yeah.
And for the tour that you conducted, when there are multiple buses, would the celebrities primarily be on the bus that you were driving or on the other bus, or did it vary?
I would usually have because I had a star bus, so I would usually have the actual entertainer, star, whatever, and I would drive them, yes.
Now, if you were carrying the celebrity or the star on your bus, did you interact with that celebrity?
Not really, not really, didn't, no.
In addition to the star, on some of the tours that you've driven, would there be other individuals on that star bus outside of the celebrity?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
And in your experience, generally, what type of people are on that star bus with the celebrity?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance, vague.
I stand the objection.
It's usually a lot of their. Okay.
Would they have their managers on the bus?
Yes.
Okay. Would they have chefs or cooks on the bus?
Sometimes they would.
Would they have their security on the bus?
Yes.
Did the security generally ride with the artist?
Yes.
At times, would there be other individuals who they may have picked up from the venue?
Yeah, that happens all the time.
When there are people who may not have come with the celebrity, do you do a roll call of who's on the bus?
No, because I don't monitor their guests.
Because you don't what?
I don't monitor their guests, no. My thing is to make sure that everything is safe and there's not too many people on the bus, and I can do my job in a professional manner.